An after-school program at one local elementary school is making some big impacts on young lives. The school committee grapples with replacing Superintendent of Schools Dr. Mary Schakowsky, plus the program of studies for Barnstable High School moves forward. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, January 16th, 2015. I'm Sarah Mantle. The 21st Century After School program is providing kids with amazing opportunities at the Hyannis West Elementary School. Co-coordinator and second grade teacher Katra McCarty talked about the program during last night's school committee meeting.
The purpose of the 21st Century After School program is to provide academic enrichment opportunities and learning experiences that are aligned with the Common Core standard course of study. During the after-school program, students have the time to complete homework. During the school year, we service about 30 students in the after-school program. Our students at Hyannis West have had the opportunity to participate in the program for the past 6 years. The 21st Century program also provides a free summer program. This includes 2 healthy meals, one of which is supplied by the YMCA using the Project Bread grant, as well as 4 educational field trips tied to the weekly learning theme. The grant has provided us with $96,000 each year for the past 3 years.
Co-coordinator Barbara Robbins shared some great news with the school committee last night. Staff just learned that the program received a $24,000 enhancement grant from the Department of Education.
This is a new grant, and it will be for the current school year, so that it will allow us to have advanced service learning training for some of our staff that they'll participate in this winter and spring. And they will be developing some exciting new curriculum in service learning for the summer program, and it'll be implemented then. The grant is also allowing us 36 additional summer programming hours, which is very exciting for us because the students will all have 6 hours a day. It'll enable us to have more advanced programming, more participation with more community organizations, as well as more field trips. And as Katra said, all the field trips are tied in with a theme. Many of the students that we have would probably not have these kind of opportunities in the summer or possibly even during the school year. So it's a great opportunity for them. It's also a way for us to reinforce their learning from the school year through the summer, because all of our projects are involved with reading, writing, speaking, and creative thinking. So that's a great thing. Another part of the program, this spring, we'll be applying for another 3-year grant, because our grant is going to be up right now in the spring. And if we do that, if we receive that grant for another 3 years, we will be moving from what's called a promising site, which is what we are right now, to an exemplary site. So on that note, I would like to have our exemplary students tell you about their exemplary projects that they've just completed in our session 1. So here they are.
Several students that participate in the 21st Century After School program talked about their learning projects, including Stella Randall and Neil Woolery.
In the group, books, games, puzzles, oh my, we decided to help homeless students. We have been studying board games and made our own board games. We donated them to the after-school program at the Hyannis Salvation Army. We've also been making Play-Doh and puzzles.
Hello, my name's Neil.
Hi, Neil.
And I just turned 9.
Congratulations.
And yeah, I'm going to read some about 21st century. Okay. In order to help students, we made cards to go with the games so that the kids will feel like they have a friend. We also designed puzzles that had pictures of our favorite scenes and sports.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Other students talked about work they have done for local nursing homes, abandoned animals, and even a project to produce a 21st century newspaper detailing important information for students and families in the program. Organizers say they are now working to apply for another 3-year grant to continue the program. The superintendent search subcommittee says they want to find an interim superintendent for the next school year. School committee chair Margot Weber talked about the 2 options the committee has discussed.
But our job is to find somebody to replace her and to keep the district running. In the meantime, to that end, Pat Murphy and I are a subcommittee to deal with this issue. We've met with Bill Butler. We have 2 paths that we see that we could take to, not for any formal presentation, we could probably have something at the next meeting, but the directions that we're looking at is, one is a traditional interim superintendent search, which might be a 2-step process, but there's plenty of time going forward to deal with this. And the other option that we are exploring and kind of wanted to get at least some feedback from the rest of the group is to look at whether we could put in place a leadership team for the interim rather than hire in an outside superintendent to kind of work with the resources that we have. I've spoken publicly, others have spoken publicly about the confidence that we have in the leadership team that Mary has put together. We've got some depth on the bench, I think, but whether everybody has very important jobs that they're already doing right now, so there might be some other creative options that we're looking at to keep the district moving forward.
Weber says she wants to make sure there is no rush to find the right replacement for Superintendent of Schools Dr. Mary Schakowsky. The school committee voted in favor of the proposed Barnstable High School program of studies for the 2015-2016 school year. Principal Patrick Clark talked about the changes and the goal to become Mass Core compliant.
In terms of some conversations that we've had here in the last couple of months, on page 5, Mary just summarized really some of those major shifts that we've talked about in terms of the graduation requirements, and those are outlined in the bottom half of the page. We are not at the point yet where our graduates currently are 100% Mass Core compliant. That's a goal over the course of multiple years. So on page 6, we continue to include the Mass Core recommended high school program of studies on the grid that's on page 6. So just the layout is not ideal because you cannot fit all of that on one page. So really looking at page 5 and 6 are the key ingredients in this. A couple of other points just to make for your own knowledge. We do know that we've had a gap in our IT offerings, and we are putting in IT essentials for grades 9 through 12 in place. So students who are training for help desk, who are our juniors and seniors, potentially going off to become computer science majors, have a step in between, and we hope to grow that, maybe put another course in each successive year. Mandarin now needs to shift to Mandarin 4 because those students who've built the skills over the course of the last few years, after we hired Bo Wu, we need to make sure that we have full program for Mandarin 3 and 4. In this program of studies, for the first time, I believe ever, we do have advanced place computer science in the math department. And that goes along with the Day of Code and some of the other initiatives that we've been involved with, but we need to have that in place. Then the other piece, Kathy Ostrowskis has done a fantastic job realigning and in some places tightening our English language learner offerings. So really what she refers to as the ELL boot camp is what students get for the first year to year and a half when they come into the school if they are a level 1, if they're just beginning with their ELL. So there's some changes for, really could be some changes for all the students at the school. So those are just the highlights, and I'd be happy to take any questions you might have about the program of studies.
Again, the new program of studies for Barnstable High School will go into effect for the next school year. The school committee voted unanimously to approve the change. Just a reminder, Town Hall will be closed Monday in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Barnstable This Morning will be back on the air Tuesday when we will chat with Police Chief Paul McDonald. We'll learn more about the Shellfish Committee with Chair Stuart Rapp. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mantle.